So welcome to episode 5. This episode is all around how do I get paying clients as an intuitive business coach. I am your host, Rae Irelan, and you are listening to the Soul Aligned podcast, where we help high-achieving leaders and driven visionaries do what they love and live their purpose. The question is how, right? And yet we're going to start with a different question. The big thing that we're going to focus on today, before diving into this different question, is really clarity. We want to make sure that we're very, very clear. And so that's why we're going to redirect the question from how into actually why. Why do you actually want to have paying clients as an intuitive business coach? Until you're really, really clear on this why, it honestly is just pointless to go into the how. You can get so much strategy and tools and all the things that you need, but until you truly have an understanding of what's happening internally and what is that inner motivation, you're only going to be able to get so far. Business owners and entrepreneurs that are successful will all tell you that you're going to come across obstacles, you're going to be thrown to the ground, you're going to have a difficult time, whether you're in the beginning, middle, or any stage of your business. And so until you're really, really clear on your why, that is what's going to propel you forward to continue to pick yourself up off the ground and move forward with grace to continue to build something that is a sustainable and powerful business. So specifically as an intuitive business coach, there are going to be challenges that you face. So really, what is your why? Is it connected to family and being able to support others that you love? Is it connected to really just like living your best life and, running to really put yourself out there? Is it connected to really utilizing your intuitive skills and being able to put more value and emphasis on how you can help others through that? Maybe it's to buy your dream home, right? What is that much deeper why? And see if like something comes up, see if you can go a layer deeper, right? So maybe if it is that like dream home that's why you want to get paying clients and you're an intuitive business coach, well, really, what will that dream home provide for you? Is it going to be a safe space for you to create more content in? Is it a place where you get to recharge? Is it a spot where you get to enjoy your time with your loved ones and your relationships that you're building? Really keep digging, keep going deeper into that why, and that's where you'll really create more powerful momentum moving forward to understand and be able to utilize skills, strategies, and tools to propel you forward into how to do that and how to get those paying clients. So yeah, that clarity, right? Just what is that clarity that we're going for? After your why is crystal clear, and I mean crystal clear, and also, it can adapt, it can change, but what is that why for you? Then you can start to go into the how. So I'll go ahead and share a little bit more about my why. Why I'm an intuitive business coach is because I want to help business leaders, entrepreneurs, and healers really utilize their gifts in a stronger and more impactful way. Now, when I go deeper into that why, I start to think of like what I'm passionate about, which is the arts and education and holistic health. And so as I go deeper, I want to see the world change. I want to see some impact happen, and specifically in education systems for kids, for our coming generations. I would love for all of them to have arts, have creative outlets that they can develop throughout school, and also be able to have tools and be provided with opportunities to begin learning about holistic health and also transformation and kind of these more people skills of communication and things like that. That is my why. So when I think about how I'm going to do that, I want to actually address and work with the leaders and business owners so that way they can start to create and craft a world where they're raising kids in environments such as that. So see how it's kind of, this might take you on a bit of a journey to go deeper and deeper into your why, and yet it is so, so powerful, and that's really what's going to help provide you with the how of getting paying clients. So the first piece that you want to do once you have that why is to utilize yourself as your ideal client and go through your own processes so that way you can understand what works, what is excess, what is just distracting, what doesn't work. A lot of times we all already have way more tools and strategies than what we really need to be able to see change happen. And I think a lot of coaches specifically get caught up in like piling in all of the certifications they can. Maybe you're one of them. Stop with the certifications. You have enough, right? You are enough is really what it comes down to. That's what I'm saying. So if you have enough, then really what is actually distracting you from the core juice and like the secret sauce behind what you are sharing and what you are giving as your product or service, and specifically as an intuitive business coach. So the more that you can like cut away that excess fat, the better your offering is going to be, the more aligned it's going to be, and the more clear it's going to be. Again, really focusing in on that piece of clarity. We're going to simplify, minimize, and it makes everyone's life so much easier. Yours, it makes future clients, they're able to understand what you're really sharing, and they can understand what is the path that you are taking them on. So as an intuitive business coach, it's really, it's important to continue to practice what you're preaching, what you're sharing, to be able to really truly experience the power of what you have to share. And it can be helpful in terms of like getting rid of excess things or, really dialing it in, but it's also to remind yourself of what you have been creating, what you are in touch with, and to really do what you tell others to do, right? A lot of times as a coach, we're coaching clients, but we also have our own coaches. And so often we're not doing those specific things that we even share with our own clients. So dialing that in, closing that gap a little bit more so that way you can be in your highest integrity and congruence with your offerings. And, while you're building your business, I want to share that you want to be open to your friends and family. You want to be open and really receive feedback. And this can be a little bit challenging for some, but you want to actually be encouraging those first few clients that you have to be giving you feedback, both critical and positive feedback. You want to understand from their perspective what works and what doesn't work. Now, warning sign, do not take what everyone is telling you as the truth. This is just to actually gather and accumulate different perspectives so that way then you can see as a whole, after maybe you serve 5 people, what are those common themes? Because everyone's gonna have their own nitpicky ways of kind of pulling you apart and the ways that they love to just praise on you, right? But it's really most important to see what are those common threads, and so that way you can develop the ones that might be a little bit weaker and also put more energy and emphasis on those that are already your strong gifts, because you get to continue to share those in a really strong and powerful way. And so as you're doing this, as you're building up these relationships, that's really what it comes down to, is relationship building and relationship growth, creating that trust with your past clients, and maybe also seeing in that way, how can you build and create your offerings that is going to continually support them along their journey. So that way you're not just creating an offering that is a one-time kind of go on this ride once and then you're done. Maybe that will be a part of the whole business plan, but in general, this is a big thing that I see with intuitive business coaches is that they have that one thing. It's like one loop and you're off, right? How do you actually continue to build something that your clients can go on a journey with you? Well, you can't do it if you're sitting on your booty and not doing the work yourself. That is number one. You have to be continually evolving, continually growing. Be that eager student that is always curious about what other people are doing, curious about more information, more knowledge, more education, so that way you can continue to pass that on to your clients and continue to grow and build. And that's can be really one of the most exciting things about having your own business is that you're in charge of the rate at which you are growing and expanding, and then you get to just bring others along for the ride as well. So as you're doing this, you're building up your tools and your techniques. Continue to have that reflective time, whether it's going on a retreat, maybe it's taking yourself on a vacation, maybe it's just taking a full day off to be more in a present space of not doing. From there, it's really amazing to just question yourself and notice if there's any gaps in the information and knowledge, tools, and experiences that you have. So if you're looking at a client and maybe you already have a client or you have an ideal client in mind, you want to get them from point A to point B. There might be like 90% of that journey figured out, that you've already figured out, that you have tools to help others figure out for themselves, but there might be actually like little pieces, little gaps during what you have to share that can make it really challenging for someone to actually get to point B. And this is where you then can go back into your resources, get back into that student mode, educate yourself to be able to provide a very fulfilling and rich experience for your clients. And when you do that, when you do the work of like setting up the steps for them, again, you're not doing the work for them. You're setting up the trajectory plan. When you're doing that, you're giving them a pathway to follow. They will be so grateful, and that's where a lot of value lies. And that's when you have value laying there, that's how you're going to receive those paying clients. Another piece is sharing instead of selling. So give that gift of education to those who are curious about you or your work. Really share openly, share valuable knowledge that might open their mind or just get them thinking a little bit differently. And here it's really important to use honesty and clarity so that way they can really get to know you, they can build up that trust. A lot of people just need that trust to be built before they can join someone in a partnership of like a client-coach relationship. They need a little bit more to like hold on to. So that's what you get to do while providing free education and free support. While you're doing this, adding in as much storytelling as you can. Share your personal story if you're just starting out, or if you have stories from clients, then share how your work has impacted their lives. This is a way where you can share almost like these testimonials just via your mouth, or you can actually capture testimonials from those who have experienced your work. You can allow past or current clients to sell and enroll potential clients into your work. So you actually you step out of it, you let your work speak for itself and allow your clients to speak for themselves based upon their experiences. That's how you're going to be able to attract other paying clients that can see the value in what you've already shared with others and now want to receive that value for themselves. It's so powerful, so key. So for instance, like maybe the story that you get to share is that you had a client that came to you and was in a hot mess, and she was like really distraught in her relationship, and she found you, and by the end of working with you, they had gotten a divorce, and she had fallen in love with who she really feels is her soul client or her soul partner, and now they've been together for many years. That's a really inspiring story, right? Share that with your clients, with your potential clients. When I think back to some of the clients that I've worked with, I've had some come to me in a lot of confusion around their professional lives, and usually I notice that there's confusion around their relationships as well, because our professional lives consume so much of our energy and time, and she just wasn't really sure about the job that she was in. She was more in this corporate space, and through the work we did together, she realized that she wanted to utilize everything that she had learned in corporate and actually create a holistic center for well-being. And so she did that. She made that leap. She did that big jump, and it was amazing because this particular client actually lived in my hometown. And so I would be walking around, and one day someone gave me a flyer for her studio for a workshop that was happening there, and it was just amazing. It was incredible to remember this woman when she was in this more corporate setting, and now like really putting her passion forward in serving and helping others. Others have really like expanded their financial abundance and have gotten much more aligned with their soul clients, and it's just fun to like, as the intuitive coach, to reminisce on some of these wins that your clients have shared with you and sharing it with others. Another piece, and the last piece that I want to tap into, is visibility. You want to make it really, really easy for someone to find you, whether that is in person or online. With our theme of clarity, it's like putting on those clear glasses. Your potential client is like all of a sudden putting on those clear glasses, and they can see you. They can see your offering. You're very authentic. You're being vulnerable. You're being transparent. These are some of those key components that you really want to have as an intuitive business coach. A lot of times we're working with energy as an intuitive business coach. You're really kind of going into the space of the unseen. So how do you become more visible in that? You can use the marketing rule of the rule of 7, which talks about and goes deeper into how you can show up 7 times in someone's life. So maybe that is in person, whether you're meeting someone in a community space, maybe it's via a phone call, and then there's also the online space where maybe they see you on social media, maybe they listen to a podcast of yours, maybe they read a blog, maybe they see you on the news. There's so many different forms that you can really put yourself out there and have your potential clients find you. So it's such a fun journey to be able to start to unravel how to get paying clients as an intuitive business coach. And really, to break it down once again, it's about clarity, visibility, and really just working on yourself, being you, doing all the tools on yourself, on your own business, and then showcasing the results in a storytelling, authentic, clear, and honest way. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. And if you want to check out more videos, then go ahead and tap the screen right there.